Welcome dear students. We will talk about the radio reports, radio jingles and radio drama in this section. Before the radio reports, we need to know about the radio news. What is radio news? Whereas already we have much aware about in the print media section in semester 2 where how to be write news. In the news we will cover 5WH and 5W and 1H. What is this? What, where, when, why, who and how. The same elements should be covered in the radio news. Radio news can be heard anywhere using an inexpensive receiver. Now many FM studios, FM stations also giving radio news every 2 minutes in an hour. So even most economically background sections can afford to use the medium of radio. Nowadays after emerging the television and new media, even though radio stations still surviving because many of listening radio while moving in car or traveling, and sometimes where they were working in a fields where they were for example a salesperson in a market, a vegetable market, they listen the radio because they have no chance to listen or view TV, or they have no chance to move mobile phone while they are selling the products to the consumers. So that is why they use radio as a part of them to listen always. That is a very inexpensive receiver. Radio is the best medium of entertainment also. It is provides a healthy entertainment to the listeners because whereas no complicated topics will be added in the radio news. Very informative information only will give in the radio news, because many radio stations, even though FM, they gives only the focus of the content only, not like a question marked or any suspected words they don't use, only they give the information within the 2 minutes. Whereas in AM radio also, which is now under the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, so they also, that is a public broadcasting service, so they also gives and focus on the topic only instead of the a question mark related the doubts which they impose on the listeners. Coming to the another topic, that is a radio report. Radio report differs with the basic news reporting. Whereas basic news reporting which are covered the elements 5WH, here coming to the radio report that may not require to cover 5WH. This is a focusing on the particular informative information only, because for example a radio report on the budget, they focus on the how much the budget allocated to the sections, how much the expenditures, how much the income for the government, all these are focusedly they gives the information in the radio report. Whereas coming to the basic news in a reporting, they have to give the who has presented the budget, when it is presented, and where the house, all these information need to report. But here in the radio report, very casual information and informative information will produce through radio report. It is also based like the news, but exactly not news, on an event. But I explained you about the budget. So here it is they focused on the particular section only, particular event only, particular program only. That is maybe budget, maybe it is a cricket match, maybe it is a political party's general meeting, whatever it is, they focus on the event only. The news point of the event is generally briefly covered in the news bulletins, whereas the news bulletins with the compile with the 4 or 5 events, here in the radio report they focus on the particular one event only. There is a time period for 10 minutes or 15 minutes or 30 minutes, focus on the particular event only. So here we can discuss, we can listen more topics, more information, various information of that. Coming to the another important section is radio jingles. Radio jingles, first we heard in the television there is a one mobile network early 2000 there is a mobile network. First they introduced the jingles in a TV, one puppet like a puppet or cartoons will come and they tell some slogan that is very familiar then. The same kind of a jingles which are part in the radio. A jingle is a short song or a tune used in advertising or a podcast and for the other commercial uses. Here commercial means advertisement. In electronic media we call advertisement as a commercial, maybe television commercial or radio commercial. So that is advertisement. Jingles are a form of sound branding. So jingles earlier very famous. Now because we are now in a age of a digital era, we are listening many YouTube shorts, YouTube another some 3 seconds, 10 seconds, 15 seconds shorts. So that is why now we are also listening many parts, many areas like jingles in our day to day life. A jingle contains one or more hooks. Hooks means we see very recently hook step in films of stars, means a primary point which focus on the meaning of that message. A jingle contains one or more hooks and meaning that explicitly promote the product or service being advertised, usually through the use of one or more advertising slogans. Why a slogans is here? Because radio form is a ear, that is to the ear only, that is a oral form, audio form. So slogans which attracts the consumer to buy that product, to buy that service. Coming to the another important topic is a radio drama. This is a entertainment part in the radio, where we have discussed about the news and other advertisement related items. I am now coming to the entertainment part. Here radio drama before 2000 there is a radio dramas very familiar in our society, whereas various characters design and a person or a 2 or 3 people who sit in the radio station, who acts like who presents their words with the voice like a part, like a person who is performing in before us. So once we imagine like that a person who is acting before us, so that kind of a feeling we feel while we listening the radio drama. Radio is a very good at dramatic what people are thinking. So they imagine it. So some they feel that the various characters who plays before them only while listening. So that kind of a situation, that kind of a imagination will be provided by the radio drama. So while we are writing a radio drama script, we have to keep it all in our mind. The contrast between what people say and what they think can be shown very effectively on radio. Radio drama has been described as the theatre of the mind. Here many radio stations, there is a we have witnessed in the early 2010 and 2000 year, there is a famous programs in a Telugu like characters like Radio Chinnamma and some Radio Annaya, like these characters will play, means they with their voice only they speaks, but in our mind which are same like some our relative who sat before us and they are saying something to us, like that feeling we are experienced, many people were experienced who are regularly listen the radio. So in this part we have learnt about the various different radio jingles, radio reports, radio news and radio dramas. All these are the famous a part of the formats of the radio programs. Thank you very much, dear students. Once again we will meet again in the next class. Thank you.